Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Thank you, Matthew. It is Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Halfway there to the long holiday weekend. It's not been the greatest start for me today. I've been having some technical issues. Sounded a little echoey. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to fix it. I just go in and I push a bunch of buttons and I keep testing it and retesting it. And this one sounded like the best one so far. So I figured I would go with it. How it sounds right now, I have no idea. I've got my fingers crossed. I hope I don't sound weird. I hope it's okay. I've got to get in touch with the tech department with this platform because they are just not helping me. So I'm not being aggressive enough with them. I have to tell them that I need help. And I need help bad. So anyway, on to something I should have talked about already this week, but I had not gotten to it because I forgot about it. The Big Bang Theory finale. Did you guys see it? Were you Big Bang fans? We love The Big Bang. And it's still one of those shows that was still good. And the big finale was last week on Thursday night. So I'm going to do some spoilers. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Not so much a spoiler. We know that Sheldon and Amy won the Nobel Prize for physics. And they all were going to, I guess, Stockholm to watch them both accept their prize. And Sheldon did some of his, normal, selfish, it's all about me kind of crap. And everybody got mad at him, but then everybody was there for him in the end anyway. We find out that Penny is pregnant. Now, Penny's always said she doesn't want kids. She doesn't want kids. So I kind of figured that was going to happen, which is good. You want to end on something like that. You want, new life. You want new, all kinds of stuff. I wonder, though, with the pregnancy news, were they going to continue to live in that apartment? I mean, it is a 2-bedroom, but it's just funny to me that nobody's moved. Sheldon moved across the hall to Penny's old apartment, and then Amy moved in with Sheldon, and nobody's moved. Even Raj hasn't moved, or Raj did move. I'm sorry, he's the only one that moved, but even Howard didn't move. He moved into his mom's house after she passed away, so nobody moves in the Big Bang. But I thought it was a nice ending. It was a nice little tie-up, and I guess that's it. Joe was kind of complaining a little bit that he has no favorite shows left anymore. Because what else just ended? Oh, Game of Thrones just ended. So he was a little bummed about that. He said that he wasn't, I think the word he used was, I didn't hate the ending. Because a lot of people have talked about how they hated the ending of Game of Thrones. I think he said, I didn't hate it. Which I guess means he didn't love it, but I watched a little bit of the finale. I never watched the show, but I know that, the girl, Amelia Clark, I know that she got killed. Sorry, spoiler alert. So, I don't care. I don't know. So anyway, on to more television because TV rules my life. The Sun and TV and books rule my life. Jeopardy! James Holzhauer is back. He's been back now for 2 nights. They had the teacher tournament, so that was 2 weeks, so he wasn't on for 2 weeks. I missed him. He's really grown on me. He was so weird and awkward at first, but now he's totally won me over. He smiles. He's a little funny here and there, and he's still kicking butt. So I wish him well. Ken Jennings has come out and said that he hopes he beats every record. His record, he's already won more money, I think, than Ken Jennings. I'm not positive about that. If not, it's very, very close. He's over $1.7 million now with, I believe, 22 or 23 episodes. Ken Jennings had like 87, I think. So he's got a long way to go to beat that record. but he's racking up the bucks. I mean, just racking them up. So it's very fun to watch, and I really still don't watch it. I usually am reading a book while Jeopardy is on, so I'm half paying attention. So when I hear a category that I might know something about, I'll be reading my book and I'll just yell out an answer here and there, and then I'll go back to reading my book. But it's been very exciting. I think that he has really given Jeopardy a big shot in the arm because people are just fascinated with this James, and I wish him well. I hope he does really, really well. What else did I want to talk about? I think that was about it. Aside from the topic of the day, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to all of the responses. Thank you so much for all of the responses to my topic of the day. It was, we're thinking summer. Friday is the unofficial start of summer. So I thought, why don't we talk about a song that reminds you of summer? Got 40 comments on this. That is probably the most I've ever gotten on any topic I've posted. So thank you for that. So I'll talk about some of the ones that I'll talk about as much as I can get to. Regina says Under the Boardwalk. She was not alone. A couple of people said Under the Boardwalk. Marcy says The Glory of Love by Peter Cetera. Susan says Wildwood Days. She is my friend from Wildwood, so that is no surprise. Megan says Boys of Summer. So does Lisa. Julie says Walking on Sunshine. Oh, song is always grated on my last nerve. I know people love that song, but it's just so corny to me. But thank you, Julie. I don't mean to knock your song as I just did. I apologize. Gail says Surfing USA. Wendy says Sister Golden Hair. Judy and Lynn both say Alice Cooper, School's Out for Summer. Under the Boardwalk. And a couple of people said my choice that I usually go with when I'm asked this question. John said it. Summertime by Will Smith. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. You can't get much better than that. There's a place called the Plateau we used to go. Yeah, it's a great song. Great song. Dawn says Saturday in the Park. Terry says Summertime by Kenny Chesney. Not familiar with that song. Betsy says Margaritaville. Let's see. Wilbur says Little Surfer Girl. Sue says All Summer Long by Kid Rock. That is a good one. That is a really good one. I have that on one of my playlists. I do love that song. It's a little bit of a sample of Sweet Home Alabama. Let's see. What else? Hot Fun in the Summertime by Sly and the Family Stone. I do like Sly. Another one for Surfing in the USA. Eleanor says Down by the Boardwalk. Jody says In the Summertime by Mungo Jerry. Not familiar with that one. Mary says Summer Wind. Ann says It's the Time of the Season by the Zombies. Laurie says See You in September. And Cannoli says Summer Breeze. Summer Breeze makes me feel fine. I'm sure my singing just did not make you feel fine. I apologize for singing. I will try not to do that again. So, yeah, we're getting ready for summer. We've got a cool playlist now. We're going to, make sure that we're feeling in the groove for the Summertime Music Fest. I used to listen to the radio when I was sitting outside. I used to just put on the station that I worked for and listen to that all day. I don't do that anymore, I can tell you that. There's another radio station in the area that I do listen to. But mostly I go with my playlist now. My playlist is getting kind of old and tired. I'm getting burned on my playlist. I need to get some new songs. But man, oh man, are they expensive. It's just a lot of money to keep adding to the iTunes account. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure I just added some stuff, and I know that there's a lot more songs still on albums that I had purchased that I haven't put into a playlist yet. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll do like a leftover playlist, a playlist of all the leftover songs that haven't been put on a playlist yet. There you go. Just save myself some money. I'm smart. So I wanted to talk about my blog post today, continuing in the week of the path that I took from pessimist to hopefulist. And today's blog post is titled, It's Happening. I hope you get a chance to check it out if you don't read it. I'm going to, go over most of it now. But, this is just my personal path. And yesterday I was talking a little bit about how I grew up and how I grew up kind of with a victim mentality and all of that, and how I really tried to start making changes so that, I would think differently. And I will never forget the first time I realized that it was actually starting to work. And it really was not that long ago. I've been working on this for years. Well, I've been working on this for decades, let's just say. And it was around New Year's Eve in 2017. So we were going into 2018. So 2 years ago. It wasn't even 2 years ago. It was a year and a half ago, I guess. I remember seeing on Facebook. This is the time that I really kind of it jarred me a little bit. Everybody on Facebook were saying, oh, thank goodness, this year is over. Hopefully next year will be a better one. And I thought to myself, I actually had a pretty good year. I'm a great husband. We live in our dream home. I made a lot of new friends that year. I got to see my older friends often. I had a job that I loved. Life seemed pretty good. And I put a little more thought into it. I also lost my mother that year. I had a big fight with my sister. We didn't speak for most of the year. I was stuck working with someone that made it extremely difficult to work with. So as I thought about these other things, it kind of struck me. I've done it. It's happened. I am now officially focusing on the positive instead of the negative. This is what I've been working toward for years, and I didn't even realize it when it started happening. It just dawned on me. I was like, okay, I think it's a good year because I thought about the good things that happened that year, not the bad things. Bad things happened, of course. Bad things always happen. But I focused on the good parts. Yay me! It's working! It's working! So a number of books I've read have insisted that you are as happy as you make up your mind to be. Well, I thought that was just pure BS. Don't tell me I don't want to be happy. Of course I want to be happy. Don't be ridiculous. I can't believe I paid for this crappy book. But as I said, they all said the same things and instructed me to do the same things. So little by little, I added more and more to try to change my way of thinking. There are so many things holding you back that you don't even realize. You may be feeling guilty, or you don't think you're a good person, or you don't truly believe you're worthy of what you're looking for. I am currently rereading You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero because it was my turn to pick for book club. Book club tomorrow night at my house. I'm the hostess with the mostest, and I made them all read that. I don't know if they all read it, but we'll see. A good discussion, I hope, will be had. I've told you before, I will tell you again. You need to get this book. It helped me figure out so many things that I didn't even realize I was doing to hold myself and my happiness back. It really goes into why we think the way that we do, what's going on in our subconscious, how we can extract that and move on from it. It's so good. I can't recommend it any more than I already have. I just love this book. In fact, she should be giving me royalties because I just tell everybody I know to read this book. So if you are walking around miserable and think the world is against you, how's that working for you? In the words of Dr. Phil, you can't keep doing what you're doing and expect anything to change. You have to think differently. You have to act differently. Try changing your attitude for just one day. Go into work thinking this will be a great day and no one is going to bring me down, because they will try. A few months ago, I had reread something that reminded me I can't change other people and how they act. I can only change my reaction to it. So I went to work on this day with a brand new attitude, thinking of my partner. Right off the bat, my partner said something just completely offensive to me on the air. It was during our very first break. And I literally what he said was, he basically accused me of losing listeners for the radio station. That's basically what he did. And I just looked at him. I said, okay, I'll shut up. And then he's like, oh, no, don't do that. I don't know. If what I'm saying is losing listeners for the radio station, then I won't talk. So then, of course, after the mics went off, I was like, you know what? I